Today, I'm sharing with you the results of my 30-day off-grid solar only challenge. It was a big learning experience for me, and I can't believe it took me almost 3 years to test my solar capabilities. That's crazy. I've been living in this rig full-time for almost 3 years, and I never actually tested what my solar system could do. I just trusted it. I used it, but I never pushed it to see where the limits were. So stick around and find out whether living off grid on solar is realistic or just YouTube fantasy. This is part one of a 3-part series. Next week, I'll break down my entire solar system, the specs, the costs, and why some common solar advice is complete nonsense. Then in part 3, I'll answer all the questions I get about my setup, plus any questions you leave in the comments during this series. So drop your solar questions below. I'm reading every single one. By the end of these 3 videos, you'll know exactly what solar can and cannot do, whether it's worth the investment for your situation, and how to avoid the expensive mistakes most RVers make. All right, let's dive into the challenge. Hey there, lane makers. Welcome back to Making My Own Lane. I'm your host, Nancy. And for the next 30 days, I'm doing something that terrifies a lot of RVers. I'm going completely off grid and living solely on solar power. No generators, no shore power, just me, my 2 pups, and hopefully lots of sun. So here are the rules I've set for this 30-day solar only challenge while I'm boondocking at my sister's in Pennsylvania. Rule number 1, no generators. Not that I even have one on board, but I'm not even using my EcoFlow, not even for emergencies. If my batteries die, I'll have to drive to charge them with my chassis charger, or sit in the dark and think about my life choices. Rule number 2, no shore power. I can park anywhere, but I can't plug in. Rule 3, I still live my normal life. I work remotely, which means my internet stays on. I cook, I use lights, I shower. This isn't about deprivation, it's about understanding what's realistic. Rule 4, I track everything. Every watt generated, every watt consumed. I'll share the real data with you, the good days and the bad days. I started this challenge on October 1st, and I'll show you my weekly updates right as I went along. I'll show you what worked, what didn't, and all the unexpected challenges that popped up. And then I got to day 29. It would really stink to fail this challenge on the last day, wouldn't it? Living on solar power isn't about having unlimited energy. It's about becoming a strategic energy manager. Let me show you how I do it. Every morning, first thing I do is check my battery state of charge. If I'm at 70% or above, great, it's a normal day. If I'm below 70%, I need to be more careful with consumption. My work requires internet, my laptop, and sometimes my phone. That's non-negotiable. Combined with the refrigerator, and that's my baseline consumption, roughly 150 to 200 watts continuous during work hours. Cooking is where I have to be smart. My induction burner is efficient, but it draws 1200 watts. So I don't cook during late afternoon when my solar production is dropping. I cook during peak sun when my panels are hammering power into the batteries. A 20-minute cooking session during solar production time means the batteries barely notice. Same with hot water. I heat hot water electrically during peak sun hours. I take showers in the afternoon when solar is abundant, not at night when I'm running on stored power. Evenings are all LED lights, maybe 30 to 40 watts total for the whole RV. I watch movies or shows on my laptop, not a power-hungry TV. I charge all my devices like my phone, my laptop, my camera batteries during the day while solar is active. Week 1 of this challenge, and I've already learned something crucial. Weather is the great equalizer. Yesterday was overcast. My 1,640 watts of panels produced 230 watts at peak. That's 14% of their rated capacity. For the entire day, I generated maybe 1,500 watt hours total. My baseline consumption with internet, refrigerator, work, and computer about 3,600 watt hours per day. You see the problem. On cloudy days, I go into conservation mode immediately. No cooking with electric appliances. I use my propane cooktop. Minimal laptop use outside of absolute work necessities. Switching my refrigerator over to propane. No unnecessary lights. The goal is to make my batteries last until the sun comes back. This is the other reality no one wants to talk about. Solar is amazing when the sun shines, but 3 days of clouds in a row, That's when you really understand your system's limitations. But then you get days like today, perfect blue sky, crisp morning. By 10 a.m., my panels are screaming at full capacity. The batteries went from 67 to 100% by 1 p.m. I've got excess power I can't even use. I could run my air conditioning or heater, my refrigerator, my Instapot, and every appliance simultaneously, and I'd still be banking power. This is the boom and bust cycle of solar living. You feast during sunny weather and you carefully ration during cloudy spells. The bigger your battery bank, the more you can smooth out these swings. 2 weeks into this challenge, and I've got real numbers to share. My average daily solar generation, 4,800 watt hours on sunny days, 1,200 watt hours on cloudy days. 2,800 hours average across all the weather. The average daily consumption, 3,400 watt hours. My battery stayed of charge over the past 14 days. It's a roller coaster. Sunny days, and I'm charging fully and sitting at 100%. Cloudy days, I'm drawing down to 60 to 70%. Most days, I've even felt comfortable running my TV at night, turning the heat on the mini split, and running my coffee pot in the morning. The system works, but it requires constant awareness. I check my power status multiple times per day. I adjust my behavior based on weather forecasts. When I see clouds predicted for tomorrow, I make sure I'm fully charged and I plan lower power consumption activities. This is the reality of solar living. It's not hard, but it's not automatic either. 3 weeks into this challenge, and I've learned some surprising things. Lesson one, I use way more power than I thought I did. Tracking everything has been eye-opening. Those little devices on standby, they really add up. Lesson two, weather forecasting is now a critical skill. I check forecasts constantly to plan my power strategy. Lesson three, my dogs are more adaptable than I am. They don't care if we have air conditioning or not, as long as it's not 95 degrees outside and they're with me. Lesson four, the freedom of solar is real, but so are the limitations. I can park anywhere I want, but I can't do everything I want all the time. Lesson five, this monitoring system is worth its weight in gold. Data is power, literally. Knowing exactly what's happening with my system has eliminated so much anxiety and guesswork. And the most important lesson, solar isn't about unlimited power. It's about sufficient power managed intelligently. It's the final week of the challenge, and I'm going to push my system to see what happens when I stop being so careful. I'm going to cook with my electric appliances more. I'm going to work longer hours. I'm going to see where the breaking point actually is. Day 24. My battery started at 75% this morning, and I got up to 100% by 1 p.m. because it's a beautiful sunny day and I have a few hours of daylight or charging time. I'm cooking lunch on the induction cooktop while working on my laptop, internet running, refrigerator cycling on. Total draw 1,650 watts. I'm producing 780 watts from the panels right now, so I'm net negative by 870 watts, pulling from the batteries. I can sustain this for hours if I need to. The battery bank is doing exactly what it's designed to do, smoothing out those peaks and valleys of production versus consumption. Once I'm done cooking, the usage goes back down to 387 watts, or a positive power draw of about 400. The next 5 days were exactly the same. Sunny weather, running whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, using the electric during the day to run my refrigerator and save propane. And then I got to day 29. I started the day at 85%, and today it rained all day. By sunset, I was at 78% battery. Not ideal, but totally manageable. And I have to admit, I checked the weather, saw 2 days of rain coming, and switched my refrigerator over to propane only. So I had ended day 28 at 100% instead of 90%. My refrigerator automatically switches to propane once the battery reaches 90%. Tomorrow's forecast is also rainy, so we'll have to see how much charge I can get. It would really stink to fail this challenge on the last day, wouldn't it? 30 days. No generators, no shore power, just solar batteries and strategic management. Did I make it? Yes. Was it always comfortable? No. I had to dress a little warmer some days and nights than I normally do. Was it worth it? Absolutely. Here are the final numbers for the 30 days. Total solar generated 120,400 watt hours. Total energy consumed 103,200 watt hours. Net gain 17,200 watt hours. So did I really suffer that much? No, but I did have to remain vigilant and watchful of my power consumption. And I never had to drive to new locations because the sun managed to shine for me most days. Remember how I said this is about real world living? Well, let me tell you about the challenges I didn't anticipate. Challenge number one, lithium batteries don't like extreme cold. Below freezing, they can't accept charging. My Victron system is smart enough to prevent charging when the temperatures drop too low, but that means on these cold mornings, even with sun, I'm not banking power until things warm up. This is real in winter camping situations, and I did have a few nights in Pennsylvania in October that were in the low 30s. The solution, running the mini split heater before bed, lots of warm quilts, and 2 warm dogs. Challenge 2, my dog's comfort. Because I have 2 small dogs who depend on me, when it's hot, I just can't let the RV become an oven. The good news is my mini split AC is much more efficient than a traditional rooftop unit, so I can run it strategically during peak solar hours without destroying my battery bank. But I still need to be smart about it, positioning myself in shade, using fans to circulate air, parking at higher elevations where it's cooler, and yes, sometimes running that AC in calculated bursts. This isn't just about me roughing it. I have living beings whose safety is my responsibility. Challenge number 3, work deadlines. I post weekly videos on YouTube. On Tuesday, my battery was at 45% because of 3 rainy days prior, but I wanted to get that video. That meant several hours of intensive computer use, rendering video, uploading large files. Even though I did the work during the day, when I still had some solar input, I watched my battery percentage in real time. By the time I was finished, I was still at 45% going into the night. This is where the hybrid approach comes in. If the next day hadn't been bright and sunny, I would have driven somewhere, even just 30 minutes down the road, to use my chassis charger and protect my batteries. Because dropping lithium batteries below 20% regularly degrades their capacity. Living off solar means having backup plans. It means being flexible. So here's my honest assessment. Can you live full-time on solar power in an RV? Yes, if you size your system appropriately for your actual needs. If you're willing to actively manage your power consumption, if you have backup charging methods like driving occasionally, shore power, or a generator, or a large battery bank like my EcoFlow for emergencies. You're flexible about your power usage based on weather and the time of year. You understand the difference between surviving and thriving. I survived this challenge, but my regular approach, using shore power with my solar as my primary backup system, allows me to thrive. Thanks. So did I make it? Technically, yes, but with some important asterisks that taught me more about solar power in 30 days than I learned in 3 years of casual use. Here's what I want you to take away from part 1. Solar power is amazing, but it's not magic. It requires awareness, strategy, and understanding of your system's real capabilities, not just its theoretical specs. Next week in part 2, I'm breaking down my entire solar system. I'm talking exact specs, real costs, including what this setup cost in 2021 versus what it will cost today. And I'm busting some major myths about solar that are honestly setting people up for failure. But here's what I need you to do. Drop your solar questions in the comments right now. What do you want to know? What's holding you back from going solar? What mistakes have you made with your own system? I'm reading every single comment, and I'll answer as many as possible in part 3. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. I post every week about the real, unfiltered experience of full-time solo RV life, the freedom, the challenges, and everything in between. Until next week, I hope you all have sunny days and safe travels.